And of course, as far as developing telecom markets go, Nigeria boasts opportunity with a young, fast-growing population of about 150 million people to tap into. It's certainly opportunity that Nigeria's 4 private mobile operators, MTN, Globacom, Zain and Etisalat, continue to take advantage of, demonstrating robust growth. Etisalat just announced its financial results for the year ended December 31st, and that revealing a net profit of 364.2 million naira for the group, compared to about 351 million naira, which was recorded in 2008. To talk us through prospects moving forward for this company, Stephen Evans, CEO of Etisalat Nigeria, joins us now live from our studios in Lagos. Thanks so much, Stephen, for joining us. Well, run us through what's kept profits up through a very difficult economic patch where consumers are under pressure globally, and where we've seen a trend emerge as a result of that, where ARPU levels are down as well. What's keeping you up?
Well, Alicia, just to make sure that the viewers there understand what's been published, the Etisalat Group has actually published initial sort of results in the UAE, which show a 16% increase or improvement in net profit, taking them from somewhere around about 2.09 billion US dollars up to around about 2.4 billion dollars. So the group is doing very well, despite the sort of, I guess, a little bit of a sticky year in terms of 2009. Now, against that background, obviously one of the new major investments that Etisalat Group has invested in is Etisalat Nigeria. It sees an enormous amount of potential here, so we're regarded as being a crucial piece of the strategic jigsaw, if you like, of future growth prospects for the business. And at the end of 2009, which effectively was our first full year of operation in Nigeria, we finished the year with 2.6 million active subscribers on our network, and we're looking forward to another year of strong growth in 2010. And 2010 for us will be very much of a transformative year, a year where we move into being EBITDA positive in 2011. So very critical year for us, another year of substantial investment from the group's perspective, and ultimately, of course, we'll be looking to sort of contribute towards group profitability out there in 2011.
Well, certainly for Nigeria's 4 GSM players, growth has been rapid in recent years, but according to some of the players in the space, that rate of growth is expected to taper off and tail off. What's your strategy in tackling what is a very competitive market in this environment and reining in more market share?
Yeah, well, during 2009, we built out a substantial sort of portion of our network. So today we are present in all 36 states in Nigeria. We have somewhere in the region of around about 1,000 sort of active cell sites, something like a 40% coverage of the population. You're quite right, Alicia, to say that there has been a slowdown in the growth of the market. Certainly the figures that we have in our possession would indicate that in 2009 the total market in terms of active subscribers only grew something like 4 million subscribers during 2009, which would represent a growth rate of around about sort of 7 or 8%, which is substantially less than the plus 20% sort of rates that we've seen in the past. However, from Etisalat Nigeria's perspective, we rely substantially on taking subscribers from our competitors, as opposed to rolling out network in the more sort of rural areas where perhaps the further growth will be coming from in the future. So I would say that probably in 2009, somewhere in the region of 80% of our customers would have been customers who actually churned to us from the other networks. So to that extent, we are not that sensitive or that exposed to a decline perhaps in the overall sort of top line sort of growth rate of the market. market at the moment.
What do you see being that magnet attracting consumers your way? Because one's got to admit that it is very difficult for consumers to change.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things. I mean, clearly we've been very, very active in the area of promoting the business, because the main thing that we're keen to do is to say to people, look, we're a brand new sort of network built, you know, towards the end of the first decade of a new millennium. We're able to deploy a sort of very, very high sort of technology. We believe that we have the best quality network, and that has been amply illustrated by the results that have been published by the regulator here in Nigeria, where we were the top performing network in 4 out of the 5 key measures which they use to measure network quality. So our strategy has been very, very clear. It's about quality, it's about innovation, and it's about customer focus. And essentially what we try to do is to promote heavily, to give people a real incentive, a reason to actually come across and try our network here, the Etisalat Nigeria network, and really feel and see what the quality is all about. And then hopefully we can retain and increase our relationship with those customers.
Very, very quickly, Stephen, I mean, critics have argued that the strides, despite the strides being made here and the opportunity, we've got that tempered by corruption and poor infrastructure, which in turn has created a pretty tough business environment for most sectors. Is this still a big challenge for you?
Certainly it's an area one has to keep a very close watch on, and you have to make sure that as a company, and indeed we have done this here in Etisalat Nigeria, we look very much to have a scrupulously clean, transparent business in terms of, you know, the way that we tender, the way that we go out to the marketplace to buy products and services. Certainly it can be a tough environment to roll out, but you need to have experienced people in your team who are used to rolling out a network across what is a very, very large country. It is something like 10 times the land area of the United Arab Emirates, in fact.